Echo Zero Tango Lima Golf, USL.
Roger, Roger. What's the name there, sir?
Roger, Roger. What's the name there, sir?
This is Mark Jones, transmitting from Missouri.
Sorry, Mark. Where were your location again?
Where were your location again?
Missouri, the Ozark Mountains in Missouri, West Plains.
Roger, Roger, Missouri. And what radio are you running, sir?
Roger, Missouri. And what radio are you running, sir?
I'm running a Yaesu 857.
Roger on the 857. Okay, Mark, if you would be interested in our setup procedure, if you'll give me about 10 to 15 seconds on your antenna situation so I can listen to your audio, Roger.
Listen to your audio, Roger.
Okay, I'm running a half-wave dipole 40 meter with a 1-to-1 balance.
Roger that, Mark. That's a good antenna, sir. What is your? Are you having to run through an antenna tuner, or can you? You know, those dipoles are very easy to tune down to where you don't need the antenna tuner, Roger.
Need the antenna tuner, Roger.
Well, I'm running an automatic antenna tuner. It's LDG electronics. Works pretty good for me.
Roger that. Roger that. Well, I'm looking at your audio. I think, gosh, you're doing really well. Maybe you might do a couple of clicks more top-end EQ to bring out articulation. But, you know, that would be the only thing I could say at the moment that might increase your intelligibility, Roger.
Increase your intelligibility, Roger.
Okay, how do I do that? I've been transmitting for, I'd say maybe a couple of years. I just got my General a couple of years ago. I just made my antenna from 10 gauge coated copper wire, and I have like I say, I have a balun and this antenna tuner, and I'm using a 400 low loss feed line, about 50 feet. I seem to be doing well. I pick up and transmit, I think, from coast to coast, and I'm not really having a problem. What's my signal strength?
You look to be about 8 dB above the Georgia SDR noise level. About 8 dB over the Georgia SDR noise level. I'm using Georgia SDR to copy you as the best signal that I've got. 4 SDRs on a rotary switch along with my local receiver, and in about a second I can go through all 5 signals and pick the best signal. So you're right now best on the Georgia SDR. Now, as far as the equalization, that would be on your transmitter. You on your book, it should show you how to get to your equalization page, and on that page you want to crank up the treble EQ about 2 dB. Boost the treble EQ 2 dB from where it is. That's as far as the equalization is concerned. And as far as the antenna is concerned, you would tune that by plus or minusing the ends of those dipoles. Now I use a kind of a special way to tune a dipole. I'm running mine well, let's see here. It's not. It's direct without a transformer. So I have a plus and a minus on my elements, my ground side and my high side. And on my ground side, I use that to minimize my SWR by plus and minusing the ends links of that ground side. And then I use the high side to bring it back onto the frequency that I'm looking for. And you can do the same thing on your balanced dipole. Just decide one side is going to be just for SWR correction, and the other leg of that dipole is going to be to bring it back onto the frequency that you're looking for. Roger?
Frequency that you're looking for. Roger?
Okay, so I'm kind of, really, I'm new in this. I'm not online a lot, and I hear what you're saying. My equalization, up 2 dB, and then low side and high side. Are those settings within my transceiver?
No, I'm talking about your antenna. I'm talking about your dipole antenna and tuning your dipole antenna to become a resonant antenna. So you don't have to go through your antenna tuner. You can tune that dipole to the frequency that you most operate on mostly. That does not then require the antenna tuner to operate on that frequency. And the antenna becomes much more efficient when it's a tuned dipole. And the way you tune the dipole is, the way I tune it is I pick my ground side. Since I'm not running through a transformer, I'm running unbalanced dipole. On my ground side, I use that to correct my SWR, and on the other leg of the dipole, I use that to bring it back onto frequency. Now you're using a balanced dipole since it's running through a transformer, but it's the same thing. Just pick one side as to your SWR correction side, where you nibble plus or minus the end of that element to try to get the minimum SWR, and then use the other element side to bring it back onto the frequency. Because when you, like with a dipole, anytime you do work on one end, it's going to affect the other end in some way or the other. So if you decide that, say, your left-hand side of your dipole is going to be your SWR correction, you just plus or minus the wire length on that side, looking at your SWR, your habitual SWR between those adjustments, and you're always adjusting for minimum SWR. Now, when you do that, it's going to shift the resonant frequency of the other element, and you'll have to, plus or minus that leg of the wire to bring it back onto the absolute frequency that you're looking for. Roger?
Frequency that you're looking for, Roger.
Okay, yeah, I copy all that. So, can you tell me what is your call sign and where are you transmitting from?
Yes, sir. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim. This is the Qso-Vlog net on Friday afternoons between 3:30 and 5 on 7188. And our operating location is in Indiana, just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky. We're on New Albany, Indiana, just on the other side of Louisville, Kentucky, and the Ohio River. Roger?
And the Ohio River. Roger?
Yes, I got it. I'm looking at my map here. So you're in southern Indiana then, is that correct?
That's a Roger, yes. But nobody knows where New Albany is, so I just say we're just across from Louisville, Kentucky. Most folks know where Louisville is, Roger. It's the home of fast women and beautiful horses.
Horses.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the comeback, and I'll be monitoring for a little while, Jim. And I have you on my contact phone, and I appreciate the Thank you.
Roger, Mark 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And again, to listen to this recording, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, along with today's date, 7/30/21, that will take you to this recording and give us a couple of days to get it uploaded. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
You want to check out, give me a shout.